Hey, welcome to our episode of Whiskey Wednesday with me, Chad of Chad's Beer Reviews. This is your first time here. This is my personal exploration into whiskey. I do not claim to be a whiskey expert or judge, connoisseur, or anything. This is me dipping my toe into the world of whiskey. All right, so we are going back to Scotland for tonight's showdown. I saw two samples that are Scotches, and they both had a number 15 on them. I'm like, all right, this seems like a fair competition. All right, so I guess we'll go alphabetically. So in my right hand, I have Dewar's blended Scotch whiskey, aged 15 years, true Scotch, double aged for extra smoothness, product of Scotland. And if you look really close, it does say that it's 40% ABV. That's 80 proof. And in my left hand, I have the Glenlivet, 15 years of age, single malt Scotch whiskey, and it's French oak reserved. And this is also 40% ABV, which, again, would be 80 proof. All right, so we'll go off aroma. I've got the Dewar's in my right hand. Okay. I mean, I definitely get, like, some, kind of hard alcohol on here, kind of like paint thinner or something like that. But, I mean, I also get, like, a remarkable sweetness on here. It actually kind of reminds me of bourbon. I would say there's a little bit vanilla in here. Woody, vanilla, just this sweetness. Maybe a hint of honey, maybe. I would not call it floral or earthy or anything. To me, it smells a little sweet, but also at the same time, pretty boozy. So let's give the Glenlivet a whiff. Okay, so this one's a little different. This one has like kind of a lighter aroma. Yeah, and this one is more about like the wood character, the barrel character. It doesn't really smell. I mean, it has like a essence or kind of suggestion of sweetness, but let's see if I go. Actually, the Dewar's, if I'm doing side by side, this one does seem to have like a little bit of like a honeysuckle or floral kind of thing. Now that I'm getting my nose into it. The Glenlivet is a little bit more, harder alcohol. But at the same time, it's also more like aged wood or something. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Again, I'm not a whiskey judge or anything. Appearance, they look pretty much identical. I mean, you can see the pictures in the thumbnail. I think the Dewar's is slightly more amber. But yeah, I mean, they're both, very clear shade of gold. No foam on them. Obviously, it's whiskey, not beer. So, you know what? Fun fact, I don't think I've ever said this before. My first legal drink that I purchased when I was 21 was a Dewar's on the Rocks. And that's only because I was a huge fan of that movie Swingers with Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn. And Jon Favreau was always drinking Dewar's on the Rocks in that movie, so I'm like, all right, I got to try this. And I don't think I even got halfway through it. So that was 25 years ago, over 25 years ago. Let's see how Dewar's taste now. Cheers. Damn. One of these days I'm going to get through that first sip without coughing. Yeah, it's pretty intense. It does not taste quite as sweet as it smelled. But I did notice, like, right away, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of, like, that kind of honeysuckle kind of character, kind of like a meadow or wildflowers or something like that. It did not strike me as being, like, very woody, which I think is kind of the point, because this is a blend. So, I mean, I just don't have time, but check out Tasting Whiskey by Lou Bryson. He explains everything in there. Yeah, it's a lot less harsh on the second sip. It's always that first sip is pretty harsh. It's actually remarkably smooth on that second sip. Again, kind of floral, slight notes of honey. I don't think I would call this. It's, to me, as far as like the actual sweet flavor, it seems to be a little bit more. Actually, I'd say a lot more honey character than vanilla. And it doesn't have any spiciness to it, which I will say, I tend to get a lot of like just a spicy alcohol on a lot of these whiskeys. And this one is very smooth, I will say. Yeah, it finishes pretty sweet. It's a light sweetness, though. It's not like an intense, rich decadence or anything. All right, just drink some water, cleanse the palate. Now we'll give the Glenlivet 15 a try. Cheers again. The first thing I noticed right away was the mouthfeel. The mouthfeel on this one is much thicker. There seems to be a recurring theme on this show. Like the first thing I noticed on going from sample A to sample B is like the mouthfeel difference. This one is a lot more floral, even more than the Dewar's. Oddly enough, it's really not that sweet. It's I mean I would say it's like woody. It's woody without like the vanilla character or like toasted almonds you tend to get like in a lot of any kind of from barrel character. Oddly enough, I do not get smoke or peat on either of these, which I should because they're Scottish, and that's what Scotch whiskey is known for, is like the peat character. Yeah, okay. If I really pay attention, I kind of get like smoke, kind of like in the finish and in the aftertaste. Although this is a very to me this is a pretty warm whiskey, so like the actual alcohol is kind of upstaging the peat smoke character. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I can pick up a little bit of peat in the Dewar's. As far as mouthfeel, I would definitely say the Glenlivet has a thicker. I would probably put this at like full-bodied, whereas this is kind of like a medium, maybe medium full. It's hard to say which one I like better. I mean, they both have like their pros and cons. By the way, both of these little 50 ml sampler bottles were expensive. I think like the Glenlivet was like $8.99 and the Dewar's was $6.99. That's a lot. I mean, a shot of these at a bar would probably be like $3 or $4. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really buy shots at the bars. I kind of like the Dewar's a little bit better. I think because like it's a little lighter, and to me it's smoother. It's a little bit more approachable, like as a noob. The Glenlivet is, I would definitely say it's a little bit more rich. It has like more depth of character, I guess we could say. But to me, it has like a lower drinkability on the Glenlivet because it's like thick and much hotter. But yeah, I mean, I like both of these. I'm not sure I'd be like in like a super rush to get back to them. Maybe this isn't even a fair comparison because the Glenlivet is a single malt, whereas this is a blend. But they were both aged 15 years, so I thought that would be a fair comparison. So, yeah, thumbs up for both. I'm not doing ratings on this show other than that, and so far I think I've given everything I've tried a thumbs up. Yeah, so if you have suggestions, if you want to see anything that comes in a little 50 ml bottle, I will be happy to try. Although I am running out of options to try. I don't want to spend $30 or more on a bottle. All right, I am rambling. If you watch all the way in, you are awesome, but I'm sure you knew that. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys for Teetotaler Thursday. I haven't plugged that show in a while. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.